Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the invitation-only introductory webinar to understand how Bonas Group and Sarine plan to begin offering you tender buys, the opportunity to register goods won and tender on the Diamond Journey program, helping you tell the provenance story. First, let me introduce myself. I am Romi Gagbaram, Director of Global Marketing of Sarine Technologies. And today I will be your host and moderator. And I'm very glad to welcome Mr. Jimmy Goof, Senior Consultant and Digital Products Manager at Bonas Group, who will present the Bonas Group commitment to the longevity of the industry through transparent practices and the adoption of new Sarine technology to support it. After Jimmy, Mr. Zafrir Engelhardt, Sarine Group VP of Business Development, will present Sarine Diamond Journey verifiable data program in details. At last 15 minutes of today's session, there will be question and answers section. So please provide your questions in chat, and I hope that we'll have enough time to answer all your questions. And if not, you will have an opportunity to contact our panelists today, later, and I'm sure they will be very glad to answer you. So, but before we get into the presentations themselves, we would like to show you a short video about the stages of Sarine's end-to-end traceability solution, which we call Sarine Diamond Journey Traceability. So let's see the video first.
In its journey from mine to store, a diamond will undergo many changes and will pass through many hands. Sarine Diamond Journey traceability begins at the mine. All rough stones in a given package are scanned by the producer, and a unique 3D model is generated. At the factory, each stone in the package is scanned by the manufacturer, who inputs the package ID and producer name into the system. Every time a stone is processed through a stage, the system validates its current status to assure it is the same stone, then registers the new stage automatically. When the polished plan is finalized, the system captures multiple properties of the rough part and the planned polish to enable matching to the final polished stone. Sarine Diamond Journey traceability now accompanies the polished stone to Sarine's AI lab. This will verify the polished stone is derived from a specific rough. Traceability is completed with the generation of a customizable digital or printed report supporting the retailer's brand and providing consumers with a record of their diamond's journey. Sarine Diamond Journey traceability. Industry traceability. Reimagine.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, bear with me a second. Okay. I hope everybody sees my screen. So thank you very much for the introduction, Romy, and for the introductory video. Welcome to all of our buyers who have joined this webinar. We're delighted to be able to soft launch this after a couple of months ago, where we made a press release on our partnership together for the Sarine Traceability Journey. The purpose of this really from our side, excuse me, is to give you a very quick and very simple indication as to what and how we're going to begin rolling out the Sarine Traceability program. So before we dive into the what and how, I'll quickly touch on why. So why traceability? Well, I think the need for increased transparency through the diamond pipeline is very much here and growing. There is a collective opportunity here to tell another story to our product, whether it's an origin story, a pipeline integrity story, social responsibility story. They are available, and I think really technology is the enabler in all of this, ensuring we can move towards a tracking system which is based on science and not just declaration. Why now? Well, I think the general trend, as we can all agree, was heading in this direction even pre-COVID. But of course, this is accelerated in recent times for obvious reasons. As Zafrir will explain in his presentation, Sarine provide a solution which is not only data-driven and based on scientific method, but we believe is scalable and fits seamlessly within the manufacturer's supply chain, making it as convenient as possible to you as buyers. So I'm just going to roll now into how it works. So firstly, from a process perspective. So really, it's incredibly simple. Registering a rough stone with bonus Sarine is optional and on request only post-sale. If you win an eligible product, all you have to do is simply ask us after the sale and before collection to register the stone for you. Then all you do is you simply collect it with the registration number, or the registration, sorry, mentioned on the sales invoice, and a sticker indicating as such on the packet. Once it's left the bonus tender ecosystem and it's in your possession, it's critical that you follow Sarine's correct protocol to ensure the data and scanning is recorded correctly at each of the main touch points. There are several touch points, which Zafir, I think, will go into later on in his deck. But I just wanted a quick diagram here to illustrate how it works. So obviously with tender bidding, you either win or don't win. Then at this point, there is an option to register. Oh, sorry. Does everybody see my screen? Does everyone see my screen? I'm being told that apparently my screen is not sharing. Does everybody see it? I'm just wondering, Romy, I'm being told that apparently it's not showing.
Well, actually, I do see your screen, but maybe stop sharing and share again. Sometimes. Okay.
Do people see now?
Zafir, can you see?
I can see. Yeah.
Me as well. I hope that everyone can see.
Okay. Maybe get some feedback on the messaging on the chat.
Someone can write in the chat.
Yeah.
To the screen. We'll appreciate.
Yeah. I think people can now see it. Okay, apologies for that. I'm not quite sure what happened there. So anyway, so the option to register is there. So as you see in the diagram, so it's either a yes or a no. If you select no, I think it's important to note that no scan means that there will not be any provenance data available later on. If you do choose to register with us post-sale, we will then scan the stone for you in Antwerp. Once you collect the stone from us post-sale, just give us it will usually take, we estimate, an hour or two just to scan it. So you can do that in that period between knowing that you've won and collecting the stone during that 5 working day window. And each of the packets will come with this sticker and, as I said, a notice in the invoice itself. At this point, then it leaves our possession and goes to you, and then enters your manufacturing system, where it goes through the various registration touch points with Sarine along the manufacturing line. So how does it work from a product perspective? Well, I think we're going to, for this soft launch, keep it very small and then try and gauge buyer interest first. So we're limiting to just 1 miner and 2 product categories, starting with Stornoway. And that will be in the 2 Stornoway categories of the plus 10 carat singles and the 5 to 10 carat gem quality. This does not include the clavage baskets. This applies from the current sale. And if you look at the list of goods, you will see on there quite clearly which those products are. If you have any doubt about it, please reach out to us and let us know what is eligible and what is not. And assuming there is enough interest in this from buyers as we slowly roll this out, the aim is to, 1, expand out to other miners in due course, but also to expand out into other product categories as well, not just in gem, but in non-gem as well, and right the way down to 4 to 8 grainers. Now, -3 grainers for the time being is not available for fairly obvious technical reasons. So we're not going to be dealing with that in the immediate term. And there will also be a 1-pager with more instructions on the bidding platform explaining what is and isn't eligible. So the most important question, how much will it cost? Well, the soft launch will be free, but I think the cost of registering going forward, we will be asking for a very, very small fee if the demand picks up. This is simply to cover the cost of labor on the required stones, which will need to be scanned. This is based on a fixed hourly fee of 30 euros, where each stone takes approximately on average 1 minute to scan. So, you're looking at about 50 cents per stone. So, for example, if you have 10 stones in a 5 to 10 sawable gem parcel, it's going to cost you just 5 euros, which in the grand scheme of things is really a negligible cost. And this will be added to the sales invoice as a separate line item. So that's it. Very simple from our side. If there are any feedbacks, in terms of general or technical queries, I think the most important thing is to contact Sarine directly. And they have a support form on their website that Zafria will also indicate too. But we also understand that there are certain things such as ops and invoicing, but also general feedback on the program. We welcome you to pass those queries on to either my colleague, Kelly, who's based here in Antwerp, or to myself based in London. Our phone numbers are there, and there is a general email address there where we will answer to your questions as soon as possible. So that wraps it up from my side. Please submit your questions through Romy, and I'll do my best to answer them at the end of Zafria's presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you very much. I think it was a very good introduction to our cooperation. And now, please, Zafria, take us into the details of Sarine Diamond Journey Traceability with your presentation.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for attending this webinar. I will have now a short presentation explaining about the Sarine Traceability solution. And as mentioned, if you have any questions throughout the entire presentation, please write it down in the Q&A, and we will answer all the questions at the end. Let me share the presentation. Here it is. Romy, can you see the screen?
Yes, I can see. I hope everyone else also.
Yeah. If not, then just please shout out. Anyhow, we will talk today about the Sarine Traceability solution, which we have developed and is in place operationally for more than a year now. And before I start to talk about our solution, I will give a few words about Sarine. So I'm sure that most of you know us quite well, but just to be sure that all of you do, I'll do it shortly. So we're a public company, dually listed, both in Singapore and in Tel Aviv, and we provide products and services from mine to consumer. We're focused in the diamond business and deal with solutions all over, from solution to miners, through manufacturers, wholesalers, gemological labs, and all the way to jewelers and retailers. We have a very big technology install base across the industry, and we have a significant amount of diamonds going through our technologies. Above 100 million diamonds annually are processed through our system. Many of them, the big part, is through our planning solution. We're neutrally positioned. We do not participate directly in the trade. We do not sell rough diamonds. We do not sell polished diamonds. And we are very, very careful, and it's very important for us to keep this neutral position. And last but not least, we invest a lot of money in R&D. That's who we are. We're a technological company. And during the 30 years of Sarine existence, we always invest a lot of money to develop more and more technological solutions that will serve the industry. We're globally spread. So our headquarters is in Tel Aviv. We have fully owned subsidiaries in India, New York, and Hong Kong. And above that, we have a network of distributors in every diamond hub, whether it's a mining hub, manufacturing hub, or retail hub. So this is very important for us to be able to service all the industry and to provide a high level of customer service. Our customers, as I mentioned, start from producers where I believe that there isn't even a single producer that does not work with our solutions that I know, that I'm aware of. Most manufacturers, wholesalers, labs, and retailers, where we increase our focus in the last couple of years in the retailer segment to also provide them with the technological solution that are currently available. And when talking about traceability, this is something that actually connects between the different entities in the pipeline, because it actually provides the retailers and the consumers data of the diamond path that started at the producers, went through the manufacturers, through the wholesalers, to the retailers. So that was just a general introduction about Sarine, and now I'll step into the traceability solution itself. So first of all, let's talk about why traceability. Why at all is it required? Because I think this is the main question, and this leads us to the solution. So the reason is that consumers and retailers have growing interest for transparency and desire to know where the products came from and who they passed through. Why is that so? You know, that's a world-consuming trend where people want to be more responsible, feel more attached to brands also through the knowledge of where the products came from. And they would like the products that they buy to meet their ethical requirements, whatever they would be. And they would like to make sure that there is a positive impact on environments and communities. Okay, so that the companies that manufacture it and from mining through manufacturing take care of the environment, of the world, and the communities that they work in. Now, it is very important, especially in diamond jewelry, because it's a luxury product. And we all need to secure the brand, okay? We need to make sure that it's connected to a positive perception, and as we all know, it's quite challenging because there are different rumors and thoughts about diamonds that are actually untrue, but it is our duty and our work to make sure that we can provide to the consumers all the data so they can be confident that diamonds are dealt in a very delicate and in a way that takes good care of the environment and the community. And a second reason that is increasing very fast is to differentiate between natural diamonds to LGDs. So I think in the beginning, the way was to differentiate between LGDs and natural diamonds from a marketing point of view. It was some kind of negative marketing, like saying LGDs has no value, and then LGDs said natural diamonds ruin the world and things like that. So I think that we all understand the importance of the natural diamonds to all of us attending this webinar, and we need to do a better job to tell the full story about natural diamonds. Instead of just saying negative things about LGDs, we need to really show the consumers about the journey of the natural diamond, deep in the earth for 1 billion years, and then taken out by rough producers which take care of the communities and the nature, and then manufactured in factories that take good care of the employees. And all of that will build a story that will make sure that consumers keep on buying diamond jewelry. So what is the Sarine traceability solution? It's a tracking and validation that is based on machine-generated data. So the way I look at it, it's evolution. It's taking declaration a step forward and making sure that everything is registered in a way where there cannot be any mistakes in order to improve the perception and make sure that everything is done without a mistake. And the traceability actually traces both. There's tracking of rough to polish, where you can make sure that a certain polished diamond came out of a certain rough diamond, and also the ownership path validation, through which entities did the diamond go through. Now, there could be different solutions for traceability. There are different solutions in the market, but the real challenge for Sarine, and I think for the entire industry, was to make available a solution that is cost efficient and is scalable. Because having one diamond that now 10 people need to see at different stages to make sure that it's the same diamond, that's not scalable and that's not cost efficient. So the solution that we built is definitely a cost efficient and a scalable one, and I will talk about it later. And once again, very important for us, Sarine, that this is we're a neutral third-party entity. So we are not utilizing the data that is collected nor for selling diamonds in a better way or for buying diamonds in a better way. Actually, the way we do it is that we can utilize the data only for traceability. That's it. We're not able to use the data for any other thing. And I want to take another minute to talk about data security. We are fully aware of the confidentiality of the information, and we are taking this very seriously. And what is it that we're doing in order to secure your data is that, first of all, we do not save data that is not required for the traceability. And I'll give you an example. It's an important example. We do not keep pricing information. So if you buy a diamond through Bonas Group, we do not know what is the price that you purchased. We do not know what is the reserve price. We have no information at all. And of course, once you purchase the diamond and manufacture and polish diamonds, we do not know what is the price that you sell the polished diamonds. Okay, so I want to emphasize that so you will feel very confident about it. Besides that, we secure the information that we do have in a very, very high level of security. We utilize third parties like Amazon and other service providers which provide the highest security of data possible today in the world. Okay, so we talked about the cost efficiency and the scalability. That from now on, a Bonas customer can continue to track the diamond all the way till it is polished. So as Jimmy mentioned, upon request, they will register the diamonds into the traceability program, and then each one of you will be able to easily continue to track the diamond. Okay. Now, the tracking process is straightforward and is done with existing Sarine systems and only small additions to the current process are required. And again, this is a very important part. You do not need to buy new systems, new equipment. You just use the existing Sarine equipment in the factories, and with it, track the diamonds all the way till they are polished. Okay, so talking a bit about the traceability concept. Our concept is that the diamond is scanned multiple times along the manufacturing and tracing process from mine to consumer. We will touch it a bit later, but first phase is as a rough diamond, then as a part after sewing, and eventually after polishing, when the diamond is fully polished. Each time we compare the data sets that we have to the previous ones. And in this way, we're able to connect in a very, very high level of assurance the polished diamond to the rough 3D it originated from. Okay, every tracking event, every time we measure, we also have in our database the ownership or any physical change of the diamond. Okay, so we save all of that. Each dot, each measurement represents a measuring point. Okay, so that's just the concept, so you can understand how we're doing it. Again, we will later talk with each one of you that are interested to do it and give even more details, but I just wanted to present it in a general way. Now the Bonas birth registration. So once Bonas registered the diamonds into the traceability program, what eventually will be recorded? It's two things. It's the country of origin and the producer entity name, together, of course, with the data sets of the diamond that will allow us to later on connect to it. Registered parcels will have a traceability sticker that Bonas will stick on the parcels, on the lots that they provide, to make it much easier for you to know that these diamonds were indeed registered on the Sarine traceability program. And then once you receive these diamonds, it is very important that for the first time before you continue the tracking, you will contact Sarine support. Okay, because we need to really guide you and train you for the first time exactly what needs to be done. Once again, it is very simple and we are very advanced in it, but from our experience, it is very important that we train and guide the first time it is being tried. And then later on, I guess after the first cycle of diamonds, you will not need Sarine support anymore and you will be able to do it independently. Of course, Sarine support will be available all the time for any issue that may arise. You can contact through the www.support@sarine.com, or especially for the Indian entities, just contact your local customer support representative, people you're used to work with, and then they will immediately connect you to the relevant person to guide you through the first stages. Okay. Apart from that, of course, we will sign before continuing tracking, we will sign with you a traceability agreement. In it, as I mentioned before, we will commit not to use the data for anything but traceability. And in the agreement, it is made very clear what we can do and what we cannot do with the data. Again, in order for you to feel very comfortable with us utilizing the data. How do we continue the tracking of the diamond? So the diamond, as I mentioned briefly before, needs to be registered in 3 different stages. The first stage is the rough stage, where we validate the connection between the diamond registered by Bonas to the new diamond you now measure, and for which you give an individual ID, okay? So if there's a parcel of diamonds, there will be one lot ID, and now when you will measure each one of the diamonds, you will give your ID, your manufacturing ID to it, and then we will be able to continue the tracking forward. Okay, so that is what we call a rough to rough validation. We measure the same rough both at Bonas and then at your place, and then have the data, the machine generated data that shows that it actually is the same diamond. The second part, the second stage is the part stage. And it connects between the part to the rough. Okay, the part is when it's, you know, makeable, when there's only one diamond going out of it, as you all know, and there is still plenty of information for us to connect between the rough to the part. You do it, okay, and then the last stage is the polish stage, to connect again now the polished outcome to the last measurement of the part. So these are the 3 stages, and the nice thing about it is that it connects to the process you already have. So the first measurement of the rough, this can be done while you're planning the diamonds, so you do not need to add another stage into it. When you plan the diamond, you already do this validation between the Bonas registration and your measurement. The part is when you finalize the plan. So you already take the diamond and measure it again. Again, we do not add another measurement or another process. And the polish stage is once you finish to polish the diamond, and anyhow on the manufacturing floor check that it met the polishing goal, you can register. So as you can see, there are 3 measurements, but none of them are additional measurements to the measurements you currently do. So that was a short presentation of the process of traceability. And now I would like to talk about the deliverables that you can get. What is the Sarine traceability deliverables? So currently we're talking about a report that a traceability report, and the report can include all the data that was registered along the way, you know, along the path that we recorded. It's textual data, where the diamond came from, who it went through, but it is also visual information, a 3D model of the diamond, the plan, and all of that. So it's both textual data and visual data. Now, it is very important to mention that the entity that owns the diamond is the entity that decides what kind of data will be on the report. So once again, you have control on the data that you generated, and you need to give your approval to use the different types of data. Okay, besides that, reports can also be customized. That's very important for the retailers. Eventually, we all need to remember that the pool is from the retailers. They are the ones that need it. And one of the things that we developed is the ability to customize the report. So the reports will not look the same, all of them, but different brands will be able to differentiate themselves by having different reports. And I have here two examples of reports which I will share with you. So let's see if I click on it. You know what?
I think it's better if you will make it like.
Yeah. Can you see now the report, or is it still sharing the presentation, Romy?
Still sharing the presentation. I think you have to.
Yeah, I will stop sharing.
Yeah, and like make the link separate.
Share it again.
Okay, now we can see it.
Okay, so this is one example of a Sarine report. Okay, this is what we call the intro page, where you have an image of the polished diamond. And then we have different parts here of the diamond report. So the traceability part is just mentioning, okay, this diamond came from Rio Tinto, from Canada, what date, what was the rough weight, and what is the polished verification date, polished weight, and report ID, okay? This is the traceability part, showing where the diamond came from. We can easily add other entities the diamond came from. So from a technical point of view, it is very easy to do so, but you all need to remember that eventually the retailer has his own requirements on what is written there and how many entities does he want eventually to show to his consumers. Okay, so usually it's determined in a dialogue between the retailer and the supplier. We do the customization, but the retailer has a big say here, and he usually makes the final decision. Okay, then there's the journey part. The journey part is the visual part when you can actually see the diamond. Okay, so this is the image of the rough diamond, and this is the image of the diamond plant in the rough diamond, and then the 3D model of the polished diamond, and then the video of the polished diamond. So again, this is one combination. We have different combinations, and again, usually the retailers will define what kind of visuals they want in their reports. Okay, now an important point is that we can embed other 4C certificates into our system. As we all know, GIA is the most popular lab. So for us, for many of our customers, they ask us to include the GIA report. Okay, so once again, we have this 4Cs button, and then when we open the PDF, the GIA report is the report that opens. Okay. Another part that we have, and as you see here, we even mentioned that it's graded by GIA to make it very, very transparent and clear to everyone. Another part that we have is about us. That's just an example where it's about Sarine. Usually the retailer will put a video or something about his own company, so his consumers will have it. We can add more and more things, views, inscriptions, images, light performance, all kinds of things, but this is just an example that I wanted to show you, one example. And the second example I want to show you is an example of another report. Again, this is customized. This is a Boucheron report that is powered by Sarine. So all the visual language and everything in it is Boucheron's. It's Boucheron brand fonts and colors and all of that. They're moving Boucheron. They already started having all their more and more of their diamonds going through us, where their goal is to have all their diamonds traced and graded by Sarine. Yeah, another example, we can support all languages, things like that, but here again, this is a diamond that is traced. Okay, Boucheron requirements is that all the diamonds will have a full traceability. What we saw before is the traceability part. They wanted it in the main page, and they just want to say where is it from, what is the country. Then in journey, it's the visuals. Okay, so the visuals are the diamonds, the rough diamond, the polished diamond, plans, sewing plans, all kind of information. And this, unlike the first example that I showed you, they wanted to have Sarine forces grading. So all the color, clarity, plotting, everything is done with the Sarine systems, cut, and this is an example of a report that is also forces graded by Sarine, and eventually the certificate, they are able to download the certificate, and then it's a PDF that has all the information, forces, traceability, and all of that. So these are the two examples that I wanted to show you. Of course, there are many different configurations that can be built, but for this topic, I think the important thing is that we trace the diamonds and have all the information about it, and then any retailer that wants to purchase diamonds with the traceability data, and currently all of them are also, as far as I know, are willing to pay additional price for that information, they are able to receive that. So that's it from my side with this short explanation. Romy?
Yeah, well, thank you, Safrira. I think it was very, very detailed, showing actually all the stages and how are today traceability and reports are powered by Sarine. I see that for now we don't have any questions, so I wonder if it's because like there are a lot of information provided from our side. So please feel free, we have additional 15 minutes. If you have some specific questions you would like to ask, please write. And if not, I'm going to share the information of Jimmy and Safrira. So you are most welcome also to write them in personal emails and ask maybe more specific questions for your companies. So welcome. From my side, I want to add that we do see a big demand from retailers in different parts of the world for traceability solution today. It's definitely come from the customers. A new generation of customers do care what they buy, from which supplier they buy, from which origin they buy, and today the diamond industry has to very quickly to adapt a new technology solution in order to provide verifiable information and actually support the whole pipeline to be on the same page. Jimmy, would you like to add something from your side regarding Bonas Group collaboration?
Romy, I see that there is one question that is, I see it's headed to Jimmy regarding the slide of the costs. But before Jimmy will answer, I just want to mention, because I did not talk about it, in regard to Sarine fees for the traceability. So we built a model where there are fees only for the reports, we did so because only if there is a report that is ordered, then there is value. And in order to make it cost effective, it does not make sense that the manufacturers will need to pay anything without a demand. So for all the process of doing this, and for us saving the data, running the algorithms, all of that, there is no cost at all. And there will be fees only for diamonds that a report will be ordered for them. Then we have a fee schedule for reports, and anyone that is interested in it, please be in touch with me, and I will share our fee schedule for reports. Although, once again, it depends what kind of reports. If it includes 4Cs, does not include, and some other questions, but I will be happy to share with anyone that will be interested. Jimmy, please.
If you can share, Jimmy, please, again.
Yeah, of course. I'll dive back into that. It's very, very simple. So, as I said, just to reiterate, this soft launch of the Stornoway eligible product is free. A small fee will be required if demand, only really if demand grows, and that is to cover the what could be a fairly labor-intensive process of scanning the stones. However, when you stack up the cost potentially of doing all of this against what the price of a parcel will be, as a percentage, it's really negligible. So as an example, taking a 10-piece 5 to 10 carat sorable gem parcel, those are 10 stones, it's costing you roughly 50 cents a stone. That's only €5. So, I mean, it's less than your lunch. So it's very affordable. It's simply to cover the cost of labor, and really that's it. So I hope that answers the question. But again, this is subject to the demand being at a level where we would require that, we would require the labor to actually have it. For the time being, we're considering it's a free service to gauge your interest in it. On an unrelated point, actually, but still very important, I would like to just address something also from Bonas's side, just to reconfirm what Zafria was saying on data security. So Bonas, firstly, will only be sharing information on this on the diamond technical side once it's upon request. So these requests are made specifically from you as buyers. We are not proactively putting through stones on the system. It's on request from you as a buyer. And when that stone is done, only diamond technical information is taken. There is no sharing of commercial information, be it bids, pricing, or reserves. I think it's a very, very important point to just clear up from our side as well as Sarine's.
Yes. Well, thank you for this clarification. I think it's very important to all the listeners. And today, some additional questions. We still have a couple of minutes, or I'll continue to share the emails and personal contact information of Jimmy and Zafria.
I think, Romy, also there's one other point I'd just like to touch on as well, if you don't mind, which is perhaps some of our buyers. I know a lot of our buyers are using our website for the calendar and seeing events. There are also, if you dig a bit deeper, there are a lot of sort of one-pager type profiles on each of the mining companies, including Stornoway. So if you're looking for, additional things to give to clients in, as a complement to all of the, excellently put together information that Sarine's collecting, there is also information on the mines themselves, all the different good that's being done at the mines. as well as on the miners' websites themselves. So I would encourage you to go on our website and take a look at that, because it's useful additional information to support the story.
Yeah, well, definitely. Definitely, it's super important information today. And also, you know, we can tell from like Sarine also side, still we're investing a lot of efforts also to understand the modern consumer and modern consumption. And we definitely know that today are still like kind of stereotype regarding diamond industry that people don't know actually that it's also a lot of good when the rough are coming from the ground, and what does it take actually to make 1 carat of to find 1 carat of rough diamond and all the manufacturing processes. It's a part of generally sustainability trend today, and we think it's super important to be able to provide this information to retailers and to final consumers, and help the retailers today to give our answers that are based actually on data and not some kind of declarations or misunderstandings between all the hands the diamonds are going from the mine to consumer. Okay, so I think this concludes our webinar. Thank you very much. This is our first webinar with Bonas Group and Jimmy, and definitely we will continue to do it also in the future. The technology is at adaptation level right now, as you understand, so probably you will be the first customers to have traceability verifiable data after the tender of Bonas Group. So thank you so much taking time at your lunch and joining us today. Thank you so much, Jimmy and Safrir. I think it was very detailed and interesting from informational point of view webinar today. And I would like to wish everyone very good afternoon, not maybe so hot if you are in Europe, and looking forward to our next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Safrir. Thank you, Jimmy.
Thanks.
Audience.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Romy.